Hey guys, it's Matt Johnson here again with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you so much for telling a friend in the business about the show. I am joined in the co-pilot seat, as always, the junior grandmaster himself, Greg McDaniel. What is up, man?
Matt, my dear close friend, how are you? As always, you and I banter like two, junior high girls. I don't know where I'm going with that, but we were talking back and forth, and I was explaining to you some of the stuff that we're doing. And Eileen and I, the Steel Trap, this one over here doesn't like to be filmed. Just interviewed this young gal. She's working for another agent right now, and she is miserable. And it was so much fun. She follows our show. She likes it. She's learned a lot from it. And it was so much fun to hear her like light up when she got to meet us and everything else. And so I got to tell you guys, that was one of the things that just made my day today. So I hope something like that happened to you, or you did that for someone else. But besides that, man, I'm just living the dream, baby.
Living the dream. All right. Well, we're talking about a fun topic today, talking about holiday events. We're going to cut Greg loose. I'm sure he's got all kinds of things to say. They have, you've got, what, 40 years of experience of yours and your father's experience to draw on holiday parties?
I am not that old. Okay. I have a birthday soon, but I do not have 40 years in this business.
That's right. All right. And then we're going to answer a couple questions from the Lead Gen Scripts and Objections Facebook group. So we're going to talk about broker opens a little bit, as well as how to dial into the Mojo dialer, like what do you use, cell phone, landline. So we've got a couple questions like that we'll get to in a second. Before we do that, Greg, you want to give out some shout-outs to some very special people that you've talked to in the last week or so?
I do. You guys are absolutely amazing, just so that you know this. Max, you're hilarious, my friend. Max hit me up out of Texas. He called me at 6 o'clock, not 5:59, not 6:01, 6 o'clock. He calls. He goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe you answered the phone." I'm like, "No shit, I answer the phone. This is what I keep telling everyone to do. How would I not do this?" But Max,
this is the McDaniel challenge. It's just to call Greg up and go, "Oh my God, you answered the phone," and then just hang up.
I can hear someone do that. "Oh, you did pick up. I'm busy. I got shit to do later." So Max got in the business recently, father of two daughters, and he did a deal. I did a couple deals this year, and he has a very big goal, guys. And I want you guys to also applaud him and support him on this. He wants to do 48 deals in the next 12 months. And in an hour and a half conversation, I do believe we are on a path to get him there mentally. So Max, I really appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you for spending it with me. Is it Charis? Which one did we go over?
I think we figured it or guessed it was Charisse.
I am sorry for murdering your name, but I cannot wait to talk to you tonight. I really look forward to answering any questions from you. So thank you. Charlotte, phenomenal to get to meet you, and you'll probably be joining our team when we look forward to that as well. Sandra, Cindy, George, you guys are amazing. I had such good conversations with each one of you, and I think that what we talked about is going to benefit you. But if you don't, always call me back. Stay up with me, guys. It's not like a one and done kind of a thing. Pick up the phone, call a brother. And so, for any of you guys who don't know what the McDaniel Challenge is, then why in the hell is this guy just naming people off? The McDaniel Challenge, guys, is I challenge everyone to call me. I reserve the 6 o'clock hour, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to talk to someone from 6 to 7 or 6 to 7:30, however long it runs. I don't care. And the challenge is call me. My number, here it is, guys. Cell phone number, private. It is mine. It is 925-915-1978. So 925-915-1978. Take the McDaniel Challenge. I will give a shout out to you next time we do the on-air shout outs, just for calling me up. It's free coaching, guys. I'm here to give and serve, so please take me up. So
and all we ask in exchange for that, for an hour or an hour and a half or however long of Greg's time you end up taking up, is just to tell a friend in the business. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on iTunes and or Stitcher if you like the audio versions. That goes for anyone that's watching right now. Do the same thing, but just basically tell a friend in the business about the show. Spread the word.
Also, $1,000 donation to the show, of course. No.
Okay. That is some expensive on-demand coaching. All right.
Oh, okay.
Well, with that said, while we wait for people to hop on and join us live, just want to thank you so much. If you're watching the replay, again, right here on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. And the McDaniel Challenge still stands. Unless you're watching this, I don't know, 5 years from now, Greg's cell phone may have changed. I don't know. He may have had to change because he got too popular. But at least
to the
now,
protection witness program.
Witness protection program, exactly. He's now known as Homer and lives in Alabama.
And I work in a mechanic shop. How y'all doing? Come on in. I'll fill your tank up.
Just like to point out that you do have a very appropriate shirt for that life transition on right now. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so let's give a shout out to our lovely and talented vendors real quick.
Hold up.
Yeah.
If you're gonna knock my shirt, check these out. Oh, look at those socks.
Oh, good Lord.
Those socks.
All right, for anybody listening, I'm pretty sure that was a horrible yellow paisley pattern on top of a purple background. That color combination and pattern should not exist in nature.
Purple is the color of kings, my friend. So, respect.
Sure.
Sure. King of what exactly? The king of nothing. That's what I'm thinking. All right.
So, vendor shoutouts. So, number one, viral marketing. Make sure to check them out. Getviral.com. They are so nice to cut a check to make podcasts and hangouts like these happen. We love viral. Greg, you're a client. That's how we met. If you've watched the show before, you may know that or not. But you can check them out at getviral.com. And then Equity, online lead generation for buyers, specifically built ground up for the solo agent. So it's the perfect number of leads that you can work consistently to get business month after month without getting overwhelmed, without being flooded with leads that you can't follow up with. It's the perfect number of leads, the perfect system, because it hooks you up with a lender to pay half of your cost. So it's very affordable. Perfect for the solo agent. So just want to give them a shout out. If you are interested in that, it's especially available here in the Bay Area. We're expanding to California. It's run by your buddy Pierce there that we're going to be on the show. What's up?
I have huge news for you.
You have huge news?
Huge news. The huge news is that fact that Pierce and I are very, 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 very close of inking a major deal with a lender, a full brokerage that it will cover 8 states, guys.
Wow. Awesome.
And they will take as many clients as they can. So, guys, I'm not kidding you. This is massive. No one's ever done this before. You call me on the McDaniel Challenge number, email me, text me. I got a lot of people to get back to on this, but it is massive. It's cool stuff.
Very cool. That's awesome. Good to hear.
Oh, and I just picked up a $1.5 million buyer off of that, just to tell you today.
Seriously? Awesome.
Yeah. They could go to 3, but they don't want to spend all their money. So about $1 million to $1.5 million is where they're really comfortable all cash. I'm like, yeah. I guess I'll work.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll get up out of bed in the morning for that. Yeah. All right.
The small.
Okay. So I think that does it for our shout outs. Again, with Equity, make sure to just get in touch with Greg and he'll let you know kind of what markets it's available in. If it's not already available in your market, you can force it into your market. All you have to do is just round up enough agents, basically. Exactly. We will shoehorn it in there. You just have to round up enough agents to get to going on it with you. So anyway, enough of that. Thank you so much to our lovely and talented vendors and the people that help support the show, and that includes everybody that watches. Thank you very much. So for the questions, so if you're not already a member of the Facebook group that's run by our friend Aaron Wittenstein, go over to facebook.com/group/gotobjections and join there. It's awesome. It's like 15,000 members and growing. They have an amazing community over there. So I want to just bring up a couple of questions that I noticed in that group that kind of caught my eye that I think, Greg, you'd be suited to answer. So first question was from Bev Galagos, I believe, and she says, I'm doing my first Brokers Open next week. Any tips for a great turnout?
Yes, absolutely. So what you're going to want to do, we're going to do a high tech and then a high touch one, guys. So a high tech move on this. So you talk to an agent. If it's not yours, you get permission, and then you get out there. You go take your iPhone, as I always show, go out there and turn the camera around, talk and do a video about what you're doing, when you're doing it, if you're going to have food, what's going on, give some stats on the home, but say, contact me for the price, or, message me on Facebook for the price or square footage or whatever else you want to do. Leave a little bit in there so that people will show up. Now, you don't have to do price, actually, if you really want to think about it. Yeah,
this is where Brokers Open.
Brokers Open. You do a message out, because it's not just for brokers, guys. I mean, it's for everybody to come. So if you can get some additional buyers coming through that you can go have the opportunity to meet, go do it. Now, for Brokers Open, guys, look, we're real estate agents. Let's face it. We're the easiest creatures on earth to bribe. Just tell them there's going to be free food. or free booze, but free booze doesn't really flow at a broker's tour, but free food, and make it good food. Don't go down and pick up chicken McNuggets. All right. The agents will eat them, but if you're able to partner with a lender or something, bring some nicer food and some nicer sandwiches, some nicer burritos or whatever else. I literally plan my broker's tour by the food. I'm not kidding. So if you don't have food, you are definitely on the lower totem pole, because I need to get full to have the energy to go all the way through it. But then, guys, I'm assuming it's Matt. It's her broker's tour. It's her house.
Yeah, her listing.
Her listing. You need to go out and start networking with all the top agents. Write a letter to them. Send an email to them. Facebook message them. Carrier pitch them. It doesn't matter what you do, but get these in the hands exclusively of top producing brokers. First start with your own brokerage for political reasons. Then reach out to the big dogs and other brokers and say, hey, Matt, I know you work for ABC Realty and I work for Jay Rockcliffe, but I want to give you personal update that I have a new property coming on. It's going to be at 2632 Maple. It's a 4-bed, 3-bath, and you give all the stats and everything else, just in case you may have a client looking for something like that. Guys, that's concierge service. Top producing agents, well, every agent likes it, but top producing agents who do a lot of business, there's a high likelihood they're probably in there somewhere. They're going to have someone that might really appreciate that. Then that top producing agent looks good. You look good for introducing it to them.
Well, and better yet, if you actually do your homework and specifically reach out to top agents who, I don't know, have maybe possibly done a deal in that neighborhood in the last year or so.
Maybe, kind of, sort of. Do you do business?
Yeah. Due diligence. Let's do some due diligence.
To all the people who do one deal a year. So, Matt, I know you do one deal every 22 years. Would you like to know about my new listing side? There's a probability you have a buyer.
That's right. Sometime in the next 20 years, you may have someone for that. All right. So reach out to the network with the top agents. Look to see who's sold properties in that area in the last 6 months to a year. Network with them. Let them know. Have good food. Partner with a lender to get that cost offset. And somebody else mentioned something. It was Patty Adams, who's here in San Diego, mentions like prizes as well. So do you guys do any of that for your broker opens? Do you do raffles or anything like that?
We have one agent, and every time that they don't do food, and they just do a $25 gift certificate to Macy's or Nordstrom's or something like that. No one's ever won it. Okay.
No one's ever won. How does that work?
Because she never offers
like realtor bingo, where the O just doesn't exist. The O never gets called or something?
Never gets called. Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to do prizes, that's fine. Every market's different. My market is driven by food, apparently. A bunch of fatties up here. But I like anything. What I do is, hold on, I have this.
You got your massage gift certificate, your Ford's Mill restaurant gift certificate.
You know how bad that sounds when you say massage gift certificate. Go to the Asian massage parlor.
Yeah, unlicensed, unregistered.
It'll relieve a lot of stress during this transaction, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
I give out for $100 wine coupons for nakedwines.com, or I do the Forbes Mill stuff like you guys have seen, but I hand those out as well. Agents love booze and they love food, and so just thank them for coming through. You can feed them and give them something for down the road, but instant gratification is more along the lines that I would do.
Okay, cool. Works for me. All right, hopefully that helped everybody. If you're doing broker opens, a lot of that stuff also applies to open houses in general, which we did an episode on a few days ago. One
thing I should probably mention, guys, to get a really good turnout, put it in the tour or in the caravan. Make sure that it actually makes into the caravan or broker's tour list. Because if you forget to enter into that, you got yourself some serious problems. No one's going to find you. Yeah, that could be a problem. It's like when you call tech support. My computer isn't working. Sir, is it plugged in? That would be the equivalent of it.
Okay. All right, so let's jump on this one last question, then we'll get into the topic, the main topic, which is holiday events. So on the lead gen scription objections Facebook group, so Matt Dubner asked, those of you using headsets with a dialer, do you dial into your dialer with a cell phone or a landline? And if you're using a headline, what headset do you use? He says, I feel like dialing into Mojo with my cell phone creates a spotty connection, and I'm trying to find a home phone system that's compatible with a good headset. Any suggestions appreciated? So how do you handle that, Greg?
Well, we use a Cisco IPO phone, the 7960 series. That really doesn't mean shit. It just means it's an office phone, right? It's an office phone. So see, guys, office phone. That's what I
Look at
use.
that. It's an office
And then
phone.
here, I'm sure everyone's getting sick. That's my wireless headset. It's a GN Netcom wireless headset. So I can walk around with this thing up to 300 feet. You can either go over the ear like this or over the head. And guys, the quality on this thing is ridiculous. I can go out into the parking lot, move my vehicle if I need to. I can walk all over my office and there's no scratching, nothing. It's a great headset. It's like 150 to 250 bucks, somewhere in there. But I've had this phone for, I don't know, 5+ years, this headset. Also, I have called from my cell phone using my headset, my just standard headset. It really is going to depend on obviously your cell reception there. So I used to go home and do calls from there and log in on with my cell phone and my laptop. It doesn't really matter as long as you have your scripts and you know what you're calling about and you know how to give value. That's the most important thing. So that is my response. Given I've done almost 80,000 phone calls with that system, I found no difference at all. And you can always mask your cell phone call number to mirror your office line, so everybody thinks you're calling from your office. So
did you never experienced any sound quality differences with your cell phone, or notice them giving you a different response?
Not at all. I mean, one Saturday I went down to my ex-girlfriend's office, and while she had to work, and I just sat there and made calls. I just had my laptop on myself all day long. I did about 750 phone calls. No complaints ever. So check your cell coverage. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. All right, good. So that wraps that up. So let's talk a little bit about before we get into the regular content. We are doing Real Estate Uncensored live in person in the new year. So if you are interested in having me and Greg come to your office, obviously California would be best. If you are if you are in New York, maybe not so much at this point. Maybe we'll do that in 2017, but especially in the Bay Area, it's San Diego, Orange County, LA. We'll pretty much go anywhere in those major areas. So if you have a brokerage or if just your office in general you think would be interested in having us in to talk about prospecting, salesmanship, and marketing, definitely let us know. Take the McDaniel Challenge, get a hold of Greg, shoot him an email, shoot him a text or a phone call, and get that ball rolling. And then just run it up the chain to your team leader, your broker owner, whoever is the person that needs to approve that, and just pave the way, basically, and let them know that you'd like to have us in to speak. We can then, kind of take things from there, set everything up, and make sure that your broker or team leader is comfortable with having us in and why we would come in. So.
Oh, Matt, why should we leave everybody else out? I just had an idea. I know they're rare and few between, but this one did just strike me, and I think it's good. What I think is maybe we could do a live Google Hangout if we were able to be projected up. You and I do our thing, and then people can interact with us live on a live feed. We can record it and give it to their brokerage for them to review later for the agents that couldn't make it. Maybe we could do something like that.
Yeah, you could do like it'd almost be like a webinar, teleconference, but with broadcasting it over Google Hangouts. If it's a small group of people, we could even give out the live link so that they could join us, just like you and me are on the inside of this Google Hangout.
We're on the inside.
Yeah, we're on the inside. So there is a way to bring other people, like between 10 and 15. It gets a little hazy after that with Google Hangouts, but you can have that many people on at the same time. And we have done it to where you can actually have another camera. If you just set it up in the conference room and you have a microphone that sits out like a podcast microphone, you can have a whole group sit in on a Google Hangout, and they can all kind of interact and ask questions. And so that is a possibility to do like a remote Real Estate Uncensored live. So definitely
keep it in mind, guys. We'd love to do it. It'd be a lot of fun for us. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, that's part of why we do this. It's fun for us to do. We love to talk about real estate.
We just like to talk too.
Well, that too. That's for backstage. So anyway, let's get into the good stuff. So we're talking about holiday parties. So I'm going to cut Greg loose. I don't know how much I will be able to contribute. So let's just cut you loose, Greg. Well, what's the if you want to start off with maybe events that you attend versus the ones that you put on for yourself, right?
Yeah, these are all be things that are not going to be self-promoting you. This would be maybe your spouse's office Christmas parties or whatever, your kids' different events, maybe different organizations, different churches, different things like that. That's where this would really come in, because the one thing you really need to take to heart here, guys, is that when you're doing this, you can't be in sales mode. That is the biggest turnoff. You really need to be there genuinely wanting to be there and talk to these people and get to know them on a personal level, because everything in real estate is on a personal level. You know, even internet leads, they're impersonal and then they become personal once they understand that you care about them. So let's start at the beginning and think about any scenario that's kind of popping into your brains right now going, oh, I could do it here, here, and here. Or maybe even neighborhood get-togethers, if they're in extended neighborhoods get-togethers that are annual, or maybe you can put it on yourself.
Yeah.
But then you got to really tread on, on eggshells around that kind of event. But let's start at the beginning. Let's talk about the introduction. Now, your introduction, guys, needs to be a good one. You know what? You really need to make it kind, genuine, upfront. How are you? What's going on? Happy holidays, yakety schmackety. But do a good introduction. I mean, showing up with a big old thing of eggnog and being like, "What's up? Welcome to the party. Keg's over there." Okay, that's not going to be the best introduction. Because we'll get into that one in a minute, but once you get past the niceties, just be you, guys. Use the Ford technique: family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Don't overstay your welcome in the introduction or in any other conversation. Don't talk about you. Don't talk about your business. Just how's life? What's going on? Beautiful party. Where'd you get these decorations? My goodness, this is fantastic food. You get the picture. I don't need to keep going. Yeah. After that, look, I know we all have our comfort zones. I completely get it. But get out of your comfort zones. You have to do something every day that scares you. And if you're more of an introvert, you have to go do the rounds. You have to go venture out in that sea of piranhas, aka the other attending guests at this beautiful event, and go mingle with the unknown factors. Matt is dying.
The piranhas.
they're gonna flesh-eating creatures are gonna chew me down to my bone.
That's right.
But go introduce yourself. Go talk to people. Go meet someone that you don't know. Go make a personal compliment. Go walk over, ladies, you already know this happens, but go walk over and compliment maybe the shoes, the handbag, the dress, something. That's a beautiful yetada. And go forward from that point. Don't worry, they're not going to bite back. They're just going to bite back. That means you'd have to bite, but they aren't going to bite you. They're going to probably compliment you back, and then you can start using the Ford system right then and there, asking everything you can about them. What is your family? Your occupation, your recreation, your dreams. They will ask you about real estate, guys. Well, not asking. They're going to ask you what you do, who's your husband or wife, how did you get here, all of that stuff. But that all comes around. Don't you dare once, unless they ask you, what do you do for a living? Don't you dare say, well, actually, did you know that I'm a real estate agent? I could get you a hell of a deal on a home like this. Yeah, God. Fucking tool. So
somebody just dived through a plate glass window out in the backyard and ran off fleeing.
He's talking about me. Shit.
Okay, John McClane going from room to room in Die Hard, just right through the window.
Right through the window, evading the bad guys with a horrible bad 80s hair. I was gonna say bad hair, but this next one is actually just Dress for Success. Okay. So it kind of feeds into that. But you guys don't treat it as well, I'm just going over to Bob and Sue's. Well, I guess I'll just wear my jeans, whatever. You don't know who's gonna be there. So put the khakis on, put the slacks on, put the dress on, put the coat on. Guys, just go mingle, go have fun. But you're not gonna be one to wear a black, penguin suit to this thing. So dress for success, show that you're successful, but don't overdo it. And kind of like I alluded to in number one, don't enjoy the cheer, aka booze, but don't overdo it. Nobody wants to be, you don't want to be the sloppy agents. Like, so, I closed about, I think I closed like 16 or 17 deals this year. My goal is to do 25. I just don't know what I did with the rest of the time.
Well, apparently took speech lessons from Bobcat Goldthwait, because that's exactly what that sounds like. But a quick tip, I don't know where I came across this. It was years ago. I don't know why I even, what the context was, but something about if you walk around with a basically ice water with a lime in it, nobody will know whether there's vodka in that or not.
Oh yeah,
right.
No, I had a buddy
so it keeps you, what I'm saying? It's like the old bartender trick. Like nobody, bartenders aren't supposed to be actually taking shots with you, so they have like a secret bottle back there that doesn't have any alcohol in it. It just looks like it. You just use that little trick and walk around with ice water and a lime in it, and everybody thinks you're having like a vodka tonic.
It actually is very true. I have a buddy of mine that quit drinking for like a year just because he wanted to. I thought he was nuts, but you know, but
How
he did
dare
it.
somebody else stop drinking alcohol?
How rude! You're ruining my time. No, I can't. We can't be hanging on to each other at 2 o'clock in the morning. I love you, man.
Yeah, exactly. Harsh and
No,
Greg's mellow. All right.
but Matt, but Matt actually does bring up a good point on that. And then number 5. God dang it! The 5th one here, guys, is follow up. Okay, if you do have someone that you meet at an event that you guys do, you know, kind of just kick it off and become, you know, friendly, and they actually have something, be interested in doing something with you. Follow up with them. I'll give you a really good example of this. I was at a YPN networking event, and I was not pleased to be there because I didn't really think there was anything going to come of it. There's a bunch of real estate agents standing around. This is freaking stupid, right? And I had to buy the $175 worth of wine, which still haven't been paid back. But I'm sitting there talking to this nice woman, did not think anything of it. And she dropped like a napkin or something, or I got her a napkin, or I did something, you know, just as an easy gesture. And I'm like, oh, here you go, have this. And she's like, you never know who you talk to, do you? And I'm like, no, I guess I don't. What's your name? I'm Greg. And she introduced herself, and she says, I came here to find a real estate agent. And she's a South African woman, so she had a really cool accent. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, did you find one yet? You know, just like I don't care.
It was like, pick me.
All the other agents are jumping up in the back. I'm here.
That's right.
She says, you know what? I own 6 retirement homes, and I want to purchase a bunch more. And I'm like, no shit. Well, what's going on? Do you need that? Do you need 4 or 5 napkins, ma'am? How can I assist you? A fresh beer? But when you're at these events, guys, don't just count who you're talking to just because you think you know, or you judge a book by its cover. Don't do that. It will be the biggest mistake you've made in your life. If any of you have been on Facebook lately, there is a video going around about that. It's like 4 or 5 black guys. They're dressed up in like they straight look like they're out of the hood. You know, one guy's got his hand in behind the coat. Looks like he's gonna shoot him, right? But all of a sudden they break out into song, and they're just beautiful singers, and they're going around caroling. And it was, you know, that's what I mean. Don't judge a book by its cover. So those are some of the things, guys. But, you know, if you have the opportunity, we talked about this app before. It's called storyapp.me. Again, storyapp.me. It's a digital business card where you can attach all your contact information. Well, you fill in all your contact information. You fill in a bio on yourself. Then you attach all your social media channels, so Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and whatever else you have going on. Pick your background photo, the whole 9. But what happens is you take your name.me.co. whatever, right? And you text it to them. It's a digital business card. So if I met Matt at a Christmas party, I'm like, oh, dude, he's a cool guy, I guess. Matt, hey, we want to start working together? He's like, yeah, man, let's do that. So, hey, Matt, what's your cell? And then you see, he gives you the cell phone. He's not going to lie. You see, he sees the cell phone in your hand, okay? And he's going to be called out of us if the text doesn't go through. But you shoot him over the link. So it would be Greg McDaniel. We have gregmcdaniel.com. Boom, send it over to Matt. Matt gets it. He clicks on the link, immediately uploads the information into his phone. Now, I also just got his cell phone number. So now there's no excuse for not having his contact information. For all of us that are tied to these little electronic leashes like we all are, do you know there's a study done that people will not have their cell phone outside of a 3-foot diameter of them? Like they get physically nervous if it's 3 feet away from them or more. I know.
Speaking as someone that temporarily forgot where my phone is, only to realize that it is currently in my back pocket, I have no idea what you're speaking of.
Were you panicking a little bit? Cold sweat?
No, I go wildly back and forth between never having it more than 6 inches away and then not caring at all where it is.
This thing's probably within about 4 inches from my hand right now. Mm-hmm. So do that, but also hand out a business card, guys. Hand out 2. And if you're going to hand out 2, one of my favorite scripts ever is, hey, Matt, you know what? Hey, thanks so much for giving me your cell. I'll follow up with you for sure. By the way, here are 2 of my business cards. You know, one for you to keep and one for you to lose. And you'll say that with a big smile.
That's nice.
because you know that everyone's going to lose your card. Right. But do that. But always when you guys do this, when you do that exchange of information, never, ever, 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 ever come across with commission breath. You have to come across confident, like you've got a lot of self-worth. You are worth this meeting. And because that's such a fragile introduction in relationship building right there, because maybe a few cocktails, maybe they're like, oh, I said too much. Shit. Does he know about, that I want to sell the condo? Did I talk about that, or the lake house, or our main house, or the loft in New York? Or what about the penthouse in San Francisco, or the house in Monaco? Which one did I bring up to him? If you meet someone like that at that holiday party, get back in that circle of friends, pal.
Yeah, no kidding.
They're going to ask you, and this is a script I learned from Tom Ferry, and I think it's probably one of the most powerful scripts ever, because once that they know that you're in real estate prior to this information exchange, they're going to say, Matt, what would you say to me if you found out I'm a real estate agent? I said, Matt, actually, I'm in the business of making dreams come true. I'm a real estate consultant.
Okay. I would definitely ask you, how's the stock market?
No, you'd be like, really? You're a consultant? Yeah.
No, of course, everybody asks the only question that human beings are capable of asking when they find someone is a real estate agent, which is, oh, how's the market?
Exactly. And most people are like, it's amazing. It's blazing hot. You got to get in it now. We don't know when it's going to change. That's the same. That's the every other agent high pressure bullshit script that people need to drop like a hot rock on a bad day. Okay. That is so canned, and so they're expecting it, right? There's no intelligence behind that. That's just a desperate human being trying to get a sale because they haven't been doing their prospecting like Matt and I preach. So here's your antidote, ladies and gentlemen.
Imagine if your stockbroker was always high on the stock market.
They
never had a bad thing. It was always buy, buy, buy. Everything's going up to the sky.
That's what mine does. Is that a problem?
You may want to look for somebody else.
I should go to Ameritrade then. Okay, so I'm not knocking Ameritrade. So when the question is asked, so how's the market? This is your response, guys. Well, Matt, actually, it really depends. Are you thinking about buying, selling, renting, or investing? And with that response, Matt, let's run a scenario right now. So I just went through my 3 things. Are you thinking about buying, selling, renting, or investing?
I'm thinking of selling.
Okay, thinking about selling. So backstory, guys, the seller's market is amazing right now, okay? Well, actually, let's say it's mediocre. Well, Matt, actually, the market actually just kind of softened a little bit for the sell side. The rates kind of popped up. The buyers went away a little bit. So you know what? I'm anticipating that we should see an uptick again in a couple of months. Back when because we're getting, as we know, we're going to get into the first of the year, and that's when everyone gets back into buying. So, if I was you, Matt, I would actually might think about holding off. Looking at it, once this market picks back up, right? Where are you guys thinking about making a move to?
Thinking about moving from Walnut Creek to Alamo.
Oh, good move. Those are some of my favorite neighborhoods. We've been working on those neighborhoods actually for about 30 years now, but I actually live in Walnut Creek myself. Whereabouts in Walnut Creek?
I don't know Walnut Creek, so you're putting me on the spot, Greg. Come on now.
Just say South Walnut.
I live across the railroad tracks from you. How's that?
I don't have railroad tracks.
Are there no railroad tracks?
Right. There used to be. It's called the Iron Horse Trail now. But
anyways, that's right. That's what I was thinking of. It's the Iron Horse. Okay, there we go.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Not tracks, trail. There we go.
Wrong word, same letter.
Exactly.
Well, that's a great idea, Matt. Why don't we do this? If you're comfortable, of course. I don't want to step on any toes. But why don't we stay in contact? Let me get your cell. I'll text you my information. We have a bunch of homes that are going to be coming on in the new year. You might be interested in looking at ahead of time. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. And that's where, see how that transition.
See, that's what, yeah, and that's the key there is you're providing more value than the average agent, right?
Yeah.
It's not, hey, let's get together and we can talk about listing your home. It was you held out the exact perfect carrot on the end of that stick for that situation, which was not only that you can show them houses, but we have houses coming on at the first of the year, but you might be able to get in and tour them early. It's the off the MLS kind of sales pitch. I mean, it's perfect for that situation.
Yeah, you know, my father taught me that a long time ago. When at open houses, he would always say, well, how should we stay up? Would you guys like us to stay up with you? We have a number of properties that are going to be coming on the market here pretty soon. And I knew that he was full of crap. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, Greg, there are always more homes coming on the market. And I'm like,
That's right.
Oh, bing. The world's bigger than just our team.
That's right.
So, and then because answer that honestly, guys, and Eileen and I were talking today that we actually closed a deal this year from a guy that we met and gave advice to not move 25 years ago. Okay. And they said, hey, look, thank you so much for the advice. You've helped us make hundreds of thousands of dollars.